Welcome to the Power Friendship Podcast. I'm your host, Sailor Gaines, and we have a special guest today. Introduce yourself.
My name is Andrew Briggs. Suppose I've got a couple companies, but some people probably either know me as under Andrew Briggs or under Holistic Motion, which is my fitness podcast.
Ooh, I love it. How are you today?
I'm doing good. You and I were just talking about this off camera, but it's been snowing for like 3 days straight in Colorado, despite the fact that, we're in April right now. I love it. I'm probably going to be snowboarding as much as I can next week since the season's just about over. How about yourself, man?
I'm pretty good. It's a little bit rainy here in Delaware, but we're all right. We're going to be all right. It's going to be a good day.
Hell yeah.
All right, first question. How are you? Like, what
I'm
you
almost
doing?
good.
What you doing? Well, you know what? We'll start with this. What's your favorite video that you made so far?
For the podcast or for like shorts content?
I guess for the shorts content.
For the shorts content, it was probably this video that I made that was just like totally off the cuff. I had a friend staying over at my place for a couple days, and while I was here, he was just like, dude, I've never met somebody as single as you. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he just starts explaining aspects of my life, and he's like, people in relationships can't do all this shit. And I was like, oh, damn. So I posted that just because I thought it was funny. And then like all the comments were just like, this guy's rich, this guy's wealthy, yada, yada, all this stuff. And most of that is just because like my house presents very, very nicely. I'm aware that I look, I appear on the internet like I'm wealthy. My family was like white trash growing up. I still would say I kind of consider myself latent white trash. But that was a really funny video to me because it was the first time that I'd ever had so many people be like, this guy's rich. And I'm like, I am not. Like, I am absolutely not. And yeah, I don't know. I just found that one really funny because that was the first, like, at least on Instagram, that was like the first significantly viral moment for me where I had people. I mean, there were people like inferring tons and tons of stuff about me. They're like, this guy's a trust fund baby. This guy, inherited money. This guy did this. This guy did that. And I'm like, I've worked for 60 to 80 hours for the last 10 years. So any money that I have was that. So I don't know. That video was just so funny to me because of, the way that people actually reacted to me.
So a question, do people like, what's the most like your video you're recognized mostly from?
Oh God, it's the, why do people in open relationships always look like that?
Oh,
Yeah. So that video, people were, when TikTok almost got shut down at the beginning of this year, people were referring to that as the TikTok series finale, because it was like, I just made that video off the cuff. Like, I was just like, haha, this is kind of funny. And then I woke up the next day and it had like 1 million views, and there were like hundreds of stitches for it. I mean, there were stitches of it that were, because I think that initial video capped out between Instagram and TikTok. I think it capped out somewhere around like 10 to 15 million views. My follow-up video on that between TikTok and Instagram, I think was like between 5 and 10 million. And then the third one, I think was like 2 to 5 million or something. And that's not even counting. I mean, the amount of times that someone tagged me in somebody else's video and I'm like, wow, that's got 20 million views. Wow, that's got 10 million views. Like, it was, I would say, if I were going to take a guess, that whole like meme, so to speak, of like stitching my face with other people's reactions probably had, over like 500 million views. Probably even more. It was very, very strange because then there was like a week long, probably not even a week long. It still happens every once in a while where people will go, do I know you? And I'm like, do you have a TikTok? And then I'm like, I made this video. There was one time I went to this like little networking event, and it was right after that video had gone viral. And we're all just like talking about what we do. And I was like, I guess I'm a content creator. And they're like, oh, what did you make? What do you do? And I was like, well, I recently had this video. Every single person at the event was like, I saw that. Like, it was crazy.
That's dope. Yeah, that video's crazy. That was kind of funny because I dated a polyamorous girl.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a lot very fast.
What was that experience like for you, out of curiosity?
It was hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was especially communication and like how people don't, and like, or like they miss they leave out information. That's what I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's again, I mean, the world is wild, man. Like different relationships will work for different people, yada yada. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, but I think I don't know, man. I could never do something like that. I'm like monogamous to a fault. But yeah, I just something about that is
same. It was weird, man. It was weird.
Yeah, if people can make that work, more power to them. But good God, I would just I could not.
I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm old school, man. I'd be like,
Hell, dude, me fucking too.
I'm like, it just felt weird. It felt off because I really liked it. I just learned a lot. Like, I grew a lot from that relationship.
Oh yeah, for sure. The really challenging relationships will make you grow a ton, man. Especially in hindsight, like when you look back on things and you just go, man, there were a lot of things that I did and did not like in that relationship. Like, as long as you can kind of, I guess, just really like bring that in and kind of isolate the lesson that you're supposed to get out of it. I think the really, really bad relationships, the really challenging ones, they teach you the most, I think.
I agree. All right, so you're a big nerd.
Yes.
Big
Huge.
nerd. What if from a scale of 10, how would you rate your nerdiness? Because we do this on the show, and people be lying. People like, I'm 4. I'm 4.
That's tough because I'm trying to think what maybe a 10 would represent. I would say at my peak, I was probably somewhere in the 7 to 8 range.
Okay.
You can't see it, but that and the other door both have like, oh hey, there's my dog.
Hey.
But those doors both have probably like little comic book trade paperbacks. I would say there's probably 50 in there, as well as a couple dozen Star Wars books. If we go to that side of my apartment, you can kind of see the very, very top of that. Those are probably 100 different Star Wars books, manga, comics. Moon Knight is actually my personal yes. And I don't want to fucking brag, but I am going to do it. I liked Moon Knight before it was cool. I'm going to gatekeep this. I was reading Moon Knight before, like, I remember when the Thousands run came out that like revived the character. I was my God, like I have chills thinking about it. That is one of the single best pieces of Marvel.
It's good.
Specifically, if memory serves, I want to say it's the 2006 or 8 annual. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but that is one of the absolute best Moon Knight stories.
It's good.
If you look up on Instagram, Andrew's Comics and Dogs, that was my comic page. And at one point I was professionally cleaning and pressing comics for like people who are into grading slabs. Yeah. So you can actually see a lot of the work that I was doing. I think it's far enough disconnected that I can talk about this. If you look up the highest graded copy of Fantastic Four #1 that was sold by my friend TJ, I got to hold that comic. Out of the case, I got to hold that raw copy. So yeah, I'm very, very into, I will say that era. I haven't read too much of anything really like post-COVID, only because it started getting a little bit rougher, but I'm kind of waiting for these next sections of Moon Knight to finish up so that I can start buying all the compendiums and everything.
Good.
One of my little silly claims to fame was if you look #Moon Knight, so like Moon Knight and then NIGHT, I bought every single copy of Moon Knight's appearance. It didn't matter if he appeared in one single frame or if he had a full-blown story or if he was just mentioned in writing. Like if somebody was like, oh yeah, that Moon Knight's guy is crazy. I have that copy. I have that issue. And so it was any time that he ever showed up until about 2020, I own every single appearance of him.
Okay, hell yeah.
He's my guy. Yeah, so as far as Moon Knight goes, I'm real fucking nerdy.
Okay, so what do you think about the show? I knew it.
Yeah, man.
12 minutes of him was crazy. It's only
the fact that they turned him into like an Omega level threat was just really, really goofy. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the periodic. Just like when he explodes into this insanely powerful character. Like it was the Avenger, not the Avengers War, but I want to say this was 2020 or 2021, where he became like the ultimate threat against the Avengers. I really liked that story. But I think that kind of became a little bit too much of the inspiration for what the show ended up being, where it's like Moon Knight is at his best when he is. People make this comparison, and I know
You
people
know?
hate it, but when he is a little bit more grounded, the way Batman is,
Yeah,
the
street.
Batman Moon Knight comparison gets like beaten to death. But he's a lot more fun when he's a little more like Daredevil and Punisher, and
Mm-hmm.
I would say their stories together are like a lot more enjoyable. But I mean, the scene in the show where he is reversing time by like, you know, physically changing back the stars, I was like, what are we doing here, guys?
This is not. It felt weird because I got into
Yeah.
Moon Knight. Like he's always been showing in my books because I like Danny Rand, Iron Fist, and he's like always showing up. And
Yep.
then I was like, let me see what this guy's about. But it's pretty good, man. And the new
Yeah.
run is pretty fire too right now. It's out right now.
Yeah, it's really solid. I only read the first couple of it, and then I was like, all right, I want to wait till this is finished so I can just buy that big fucking omnibus and read it in one go.
Big books of love, big books of love, big books of love.
Yeah.
Moon Knight's awesome. All right, do you have figures, action figures?
I have a couple, like, I'm definitely not an action figure person, but when I was really going to intentionally like collect every single, appearance of Moon Knight, I think I bought like 2 or 3 Funko Pops, but it was like, it's not really something I care about so much as I was like, oh, this is fun, this is cool. And then, I bought the 2 or 3 and I was like, figures aren't for me. I know it really like clicks for some people, and if they like it, great. But yeah, just figures ain't really my thing. You?
Okay. Oh, I have a ton. I have a
Yeah, hell
problem.
yeah.
I have a hot toy problem too. They're dangerous. dangerous. They're dangerous. But yeah,
Dude, it's the way collectibles just blow up in price, and it's so wild to me. One of the funny things too is, can I ask how old you are?
33.
Okay, so I'm 32. One of the things that makes me laugh about like a lot of these collectibles and toys and stuff like that is that like on paper these are children's toys, but we're kind of like recapturing our childhood and everything like that. Like all the folks who are buying Legos and whatnot, that it's just like, yeah, man, I don't know. It's so funny because I'm like these poor fucking kids. They don't have the money to buy this shit.
It's always crazy. I'm like, damn, look at. I said, why is it Lego's $500? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I want the X Mansion so bad. Oh my god.
Which one is it?
The X Mansion. I want it so bad.
Oh, like the Lego version.
Yeah, I want that so bad.
There's a guy in my building that the storage unit that we have in our buildings, I have seen in it, and it is, I mean, it's probably like I would say 8 foot by 3 foot unit, and then it's, I don't know, 8 feet tall or something like that. Absolutely 100% filled with Legos. And when I was down there one time, I looked up a few models because I was like, what's this guy sitting on? This dude is sitting on probably $100,000 worth of Legos.
Oh,
it's crazy.
This is crazy.
It's crazy, bro.
All right. So I know you in the fitness. What's your favorite like physique, like anime, comic wise? Who had your favorite physique?
Have you seen okay, this is literally my favorite, but it's one that I always think of with comic book physiques. Did you ever see the Rob Liefeld Captain America side pose? Yeah, this one where his chest is like diagonal to the, yeah. I love that because it is just physically impossible. Oh god, hold on. Let me look up this exact,
because that's everybody talks about that, but he looks crazy. He looks crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's totally ridiculous. Which one? Okay, Moon Knight, Mark Spector, Moon Knight, 59. So I love the Thomas Platt art style, mostly because he was biting off of God, I'm trying to remember who his inspiration was during this era, but something about that cover is so, it screams 90s. I mean, this dude's chest is like comically bulbous. His shoulders and biceps are bigger than his head. I love that one for like the sheer novelty of just how insanely 90s it is. But in general, I mean, if it was going to be like a realistic one, well, God, okay, but saying realistic is probably putting that in air quotes. One of the things that makes me laugh about comics is that people, like young boys, will see these insane physiques, and instead of being discouraged and be like, oh, I'll never look like that, they're like, I can't wait to fucking look like that. But yeah, Captain America in the first Avenger, that's a killer physique. That was at my peak. I would say I was probably on track to looking something like that. But I mean, as far as like pure insane impressiveness, Thor and Love and Thunder was like unreal. That is
Oh yeah, he was
probably,
crazy.
as far as movies go, one of the like top 10 physiques of all time, not counting professional bodybuilders and powerlifters who took a temporary dip into acting like Schwarzenegger. Nobody's going to beat that physique on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, he was crazy. He was
Yeah.
crazy. What's your favorite comic book movie?
Man, it's probably the first Avenger, like Captain America, the first Avenger. Yeah.
That's a good. Okay, that's
It's
a
just,
good one.
I love that one because like for me it's more so about these like things to aspire to. And when you see the way, so I specifically remember the scene where he threw, where he went and jumped on a grenade to like
That's
save
the
everybody else.
That's the in
Ooh,
fact. That's
ooh,
that scene, man.
ooh, man,
My
like
God.
that. I remember like my eyes getting a little watery and stuff on that scene where I was just like, man, that's because there's like a certain level, and I will acknowledge that this is definitely a level of American propaganda, but I also think that this is something that is just like built into men, is this desire to be able to like sacrifice themselves and save people and like have some kind of like, I don't know, just some sort of sacrificial moment where it's like, okay, I gave my life for other people. And not every guy, but I would say that that's probably most men. And I remember watching that scene and just being like, I want to do that. I want to be able to go out in some way where people are like, oh my God, he gave his life for other people. I can't explain it, but it's a very weird thing about being a man, is that we are kind of awarded, for lack of a better word, with statues and stories and legends about men. And it was like, well, what did they do? Well, they gave their life for someone else. That's something about that is so strange that's kind of what we are rewarded for throughout history. But yeah, I saw that scene and I was just like, this is, and it's funny because I think that was the second movie in the MCU, and it's fucking incredible.
That was good, man. Yeah, banger.
I also like that he dies a virgin.
What's your least favorite superhero movie?
I never finished the second Ant-Man. It was that bad. I could not finish it. Yeah, second Ant-Man was really bad. Love and Thunder was pretty bad. Man, there have been a lot of stinkers lately. Not Immortals. Eternals was pretty bad. People rip on Shang-Chi, but it was okay.
Yeah,
But
it's fine.
it's like it's perfectly fine.
Till the dragon showed up, I was like, oh damn, no.
Yeah, it started getting a little wacky there at the end.
But that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah, dude. But
fine.
like beyond that, I mean, just it's God. I literally could not watch Ant-Man 2. I remember being in a relationship with a gal at the time, and she had like not seen any. I mean, I think she'd seen like one Marvel movie.
Okay.
And I'm like,
okay.
This just came out. Let's watch it. So we start watching it, and she fell asleep, and I was like, this fucking sucks. This is bad.
Is it like with significant others? Do you usually go like, how do you handle your movies and like really nerdy things? Like, how does that work? That's always interesting. I love hearing people's opinions on how people put on their cinema.
Kind of introduce it to people.
Yeah, it's always interesting.
Well, I'm single right now. I've been single for about a year, a little over a year actually, and I remember there have been like various things that I'm like, these are kind of the cornerstones that I want to introduce people to, just because they were sort of a benchmark for me. So it's usually I want them to watch John Carpenter's The Thing. That was my favorite cosmic horror movie. Yeah, Color Out of Space, which is another very an adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's. In fact, see that? Hold on, let me see if I can point it. Boom, that red book right there. That's H.P. Lovecraft's compendium of it's like 1,200 pages of H.P. Lovecraft stories. So yeah, Color Out of Space is another phenomenal one that I'm like, this is great. I love that. Interstellar, for obvious reasons, it's a masterpiece. And then when it comes to like anime and comics, Tokyo Ghoul is a really good one, just because that first season of Tokyo Ghoul is, man, maybe I'm a little nerdier than I thought actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, brother, you're looking like a dime to me.
Yeah. Tokyo Ghoul was really, really good, and that first season is like, it's so perfect. It's got romance, it's got sacrifice, it's got fucking government corruption. It's got all these different things that it's like it kind of has some, not to sound like an IGN reviewer, but like it's kind of got something for everybody.
Okay.
And then, man, if I can get a gal to read any Berserk, yeah, man, like it's, but behind that shelf is, I think, Berserk Compendium, the really big ones. I think 1 through 12 or 13. And I bought all of those used, by the way. And then, God, I'm trying to think if there's anything else really, really good in there. Probably the God. Let me look up which annual this was actually, because it's so good. Okay, yeah, well, it is 2006. Or it's the 2006 era, but what year was that? 2008 annual. Yeah, so it is the 5th series, whatever that ends up being. Anyway, but beside the point, that annual, I remember having a girlfriend read that, because it's just one short little story, and she goes, "I didn't know comic books could be like that." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "I thought it was just like men in tights and goofy shenanigans, and oh, I'm gonna press this big red button and destroy the world." But it's like this comic. Am I allowed to talk about things that YouTube doesn't like?
Oh, you do fuck you want to do, okay?
Okay, Hodge twins. But there's like some pretty. It doesn't really censor like some of the sexual assault themes that end up happening in that. And like, I remember reading that and it just hit me like a truck. And then, she read it and she was just like, I didn't know they talked about like serious things in comics. And I was like, yeah, man, like, back when comics were first really popping up, like Golden Age, Silver Age, Stan Lee was throwing in like, social justice things, about like human rights violations that were happening. Like comics have kind of always been political, but
they've always been. I said ever since woke, I said, bro, it's always been like that. Never it never stopped. It's just totally different. You remember X-Men?
Yeah, dude. Like, what do people think that was like? What do they think that was meant to like reference? Like, oh, these people are different. We're treating them as second-class citizens. What could this be an analogy for?
This is crazy.
It's crazy, man.
What's an underrated superhero movie that like? What's the movie that like everybody hates that you love?
Oh man, that's tough. I feel, man, Spider-Man 3 from the Raimi trilogy, and I probably have a soft spot for it because that was my first like real superhero trilogy. I remember watching the first one, loved it. Watching the second one, loved it. Watching the third one, and I was just like, what is this? Like it's weird. It is not great, but I love it because it just has such a strong, like it was the completion of it. But I also really like that one because there was supposed to be a fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
And if memory serves, it was going to be like the way that it was going to open up was Mysterio kind of being taught as like this, or treated as like this clown, and oh, this guy doing stupid magic tricks, kind of like what they did with the Tom Holland one. But then they were going to reveal the true villain, who I think was supposed to be Kraven, if I remember correctly. But that one was just so good because it brought superheroes into the public consciousness again and showed that this was actually like a viable product to start making. So I love the Raimi trilogy. The first one is actually fantastic. The second one is actually fantastic. The third one is good. You just got to get past some of the campiness of like, when he wears the symbiote for the first time and does like the emo kid hair, and yeah, but it's good. I love it.
Yes, I mean Spider-Man is a classic. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. What like now we like turn it on to like you. What questions do you have? Do you have any questions for me or what's up?
What how did you get into all the like nerdy comic book stuff?
I've always liked the shows and TV, but I didn't know how comics work back then. So I just went to Borders and I read Ultimate Spider-Man 1 and I was like, fuck, where's like the rest of it? Damn. And then but they were all trades. I had no idea how comics work. And I just then I went to college, and for game design, the guy was like reading New 52. And I'm like, that's what I'm going to do. So I just read everything. I went ham.
Dude, I remember in Ultimate Spider-Man, there's a specific scene, and it's really funny because you can tell it was written for kids. It was not meant for like adult audiences, so to speak, because there's a scene where Black Cat is like about to hook up with Peter Parker. She doesn't know that he's like how old he is yet. And
Mhm.
the thing that's really funny is like the conversation that is happening between them. She keeps being like, "I'm gonna kiss you, I'm gonna kiss you," and you can tell it's kind of a stand-in for like, "I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you." But it's a kid's comic, so they can't say
Yep.
that. And then she pulls his mask off, and he's just sitting there like this, and she's like, "Wait, you're a kid?" And like,
Mhm.
I remember, the like kid version of me being like, "Oh my god, if Black Cat ever like I'd be like, no, 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 I'm not a kid. Like, please." Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, dude, they're awesome. I see you've got the let's see, what do we got? Avengers versus X-Men. I
I got a
read
lot.
some of that. I read some of that.
I just like the cover. I was like,
Yeah, it's
yeah, the
dude
cover's fine.
for sure.
It was
Really,
crazy.
really good
It was.
covers.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh, the covers are sick. Yeah,
Sometimes the trade dresses that they'll throw on certain series will like really, really just like they'll almost outpace the actual comics themselves. But yeah, the Avengers versus
yeah,
X one was a really good trade dress. God, I'm trying to think of what some other one. Did you read House of X and Powers of X?
yeah. Yo,
Jonathan Hickman
perfection.
did so good,
Yo,
and then they just shit
yeah.
the bed right after he was off that project again.
Uh,
That's what they always do. The X-Men reboots are always so good, and then the continuation of it just goes to hell.
Bruh, it's weird because in Marvel Rivals they're like talking about Krakoa, and I'm
Yep.
like, fuck, it's over.
Yeah,
No.
dude. Yeah, the whole Krakoa arc was so cool, man. There was also just something so funny about that where, again, it sort of feels like this inversion where they're like, okay, if we're not going to be welcome, we're going to create our own society where you guys
Yeah.
cannot.
My
And
God, it was
then
so good.
they're all like, well, we don't want to be
Yeah.
excluded.
Yeah.
We're
And
going to try and invade this and take over.
they were birthing people, and that was crazy. That was
Yeah,
crazy,
dude.
man.
Friggin' the fact that like everybody basically became like functionally became immortal, just
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, the personal memory card. That was crazy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So wild.
I want that so bad. I want that
Yep.
so bad
No
live
kidding,
action.
man.
So bad live action. Yeah, but comics are great, man. I've like I don't know what I'd be without them. Like Power Rangers, everything. They continued everything. All the comics I've basically like they've made everything better. They make everything better. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird, man. It's kind of
Well, they're
weird.
just something. I don't know why it is that comic books like captured people so effectively. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's just because it gives these like these stories and archetypes to kind of strive for, or what it is, but there's something about it where it's like they're just so clear in their intention. It's like what's meant to happen in this. Well, the good guys got to defeat the bad guys, and it's
Yeah. Oh my god.
you want to like be a good person and not do evil things. And I don't know, like I remember when I was a little kid, or when I was a little kid, but when I was in high school, they had these shirts for all the like football players, and the back of it said, oh god, I'm forgetting what the word actually was. I cannot remember what the word was now off the top of my head. How embarrassing. But it was a specific word, and it said, blank means, being good behind closed doors, or being the person that you say you are in public, being that person in private. And they had like all these different versions of it printed on T-shirts, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And that feels sort of like how comic books are. It's meant to like influence you in a positive direction, because even when like the good guys start doing bad things, there's always this redemption arc to like bring them back.
I love it. Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. It's very made me see things aren't so black and white, and maybe
Yep.
more like think like not like a free thinker, but more like look at both sides.
Yep.
What's what, and don't hate people for whatever. Just I
Yeah.
love that about comics, but comics are just great, man. Like Invincible, like it's crazy that I read
Ooh,
everything
Invincible's so good.
that comes out. That comes out. It's weird that everything comes out in a movie or TV show that I was reading back then. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, dude, that's
Yeah.
so good, because I have the full run
That,
of Invincible, and like
Invincible's
yep,
good. I
Invincible's
read that.
killer.
I read that's the first comic I've ever binged. I first picked out. I was like, I need every issue. There was that issue 100. I caught up in like 2 days.
Wow,
I caught up
my
in
God, man.
That's the first because I didn't know comics were like real like that with abortion and all that stuff. Like I've never
Yeah, dude,
seen that. I've never seen that.
the scene with
Yeah,
Anissa.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay, that's what they have to do it.
They have to. They have to. Yeah, like I have a little video that I'm probably gonna make about that. We're just gonna be like, they have to do this. You know,
Yeah, because
I know they're not gonna want to, but they gotta.
yeah, they gotta do it. But yeah, oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah, man. But I would thank you for coming on, brother.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you. How'd you get into doing podcasts, by the way?
I was like, me and my friend was like, "Yo, let's do a podcast,"
Hmm?
and then I did it.
Oh, hell yeah! So
Okay.
he's not doing this anymore. It's just you.
He's coming. He's coming back. He's busy right now. But stuff for that. But I was like, fuck it. I love talking about people about their passions, and I like doing that. And I was like, I love hearing people's opinions that don't disagree with me, or like not. I just love hearing their opinions. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was so terrified. But I was just like, I'll reach out, send emails. Didn't care. But I was like, I love hearing people talk. So
Making
I like
content. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, just making content, just anything like period. That's just like people that are different than me. So that's all.
Yeah, man, making content's a funky world because you're literally like making something that makes sense to you enough that you want to like broadcast it out to people, and you never really know how people are going to react. Like the thing that's really strange for me is this the only content channel that you're doing, is like just this podcast and like shorts and stuff?
Yeah, I do shorts since like Instagram. I post workout videos, but it's basically
hell yeah, dude. How we got to talk about the gym. Hold that thought.
Okay.
But unless you got somewhere to be, but yeah.
Nah, hold on. I'm gonna try to turn my laptop about to die. Don't die.
Ooh, don't do that.
Hold on. Okay. All right, hold on. I'm gonna fix it.
Ooh, that was close. I thought we lost you.
Hey, let's go.
Camera's off, just so you know.
We back.
You're good. There we are. But yeah, it's really crazy because you'll like put content out there. You have no idea how people are going to react. And like, I've been running this fitness podcast for 3 or 4 years, and like, it's crazy because I put so much time and energy and money into it, and it just it does very okay. Like it's in the top 10% of Spotify, which I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of that, but that doesn't mean nearly as much as you would expect. It's really crazy because like basically unless you're in like the top 5%, it's but anyway, it's called Holistic Motion if anybody wants to check that out. But I have put so much time and money and energy into it, and then when I compare that to TikTok, where I just yap into a camera for 60 seconds, and then it's just like, bam, 100,000 followers across like TikTok and Instagram and a couple other apps. And I'm just like, that is fucking crazy, man. Because it's just me yapping versus me spending all this time researching and getting really, really heavy into the nitty gritty details of stuff. Like I have an episode that I did about men's mental health that is 3.5 hours long. And I recorded and presented it as a documentary. And I spent over a year of direct intentional work just on that. And I mean, truthfully, I probably spent close to like 10 years unknowingly kind of compiling it in my head. But yeah, like I did something like that, and it's like, I think it's at like 2,500 views on YouTube and, maybe a couple hundred views on Spotify and stuff like that. I did that. And then I'll make like a video where I say, why do people in open relationships look like that? And it's like, boom, 15 million views. I'm like, fucking hell.
It's hard, but it's just like, I learned everything from scratch from doing the podcast and all this stuff like that. So I'm learning on like, okay, boom, do a live, edit it, and stuff like that. But I just want to, it's just fun. I mean, we have TikTok channel, we have all this stuff. It's just cool interacting with people that, like, we're building something. It's cool. It feels great. But 3 hours is dope. That 3 hour podcast is sick. That's sick. That's sick, man.
It is crazy, man. But you're doing a really good job with the consistency too. That's my biggest issue with the podcast, is that because these things take so long for me to like read and research and script and edit. Whereas like doing stuff like this, it's like you just bam, 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 next guest. So you do a really good job.
About that, by the way. Tuesday. Dude, what about Tuesday? What about Tuesday?
The TV show or the... I mean, it's a good way to bridge Venom into the main MCU. But the thing is, man, I don't have too much faith in the current direction of the MCU. That's and I wish I did. Because it's such a good IP. There's so many good stories that they haven't even tapped. Yeah, and like the thing is, they keep going, we have this perfect story. What should we do? And then they're just like, what if we just put a bunch of bullshit into it? And like, yeah, like it's how it. Ooh, yes. Yep. Yep. Yes. 100%.
Yo, it's
Yes.
so good. So good.
Dude, did you see the Netflix Punisher series?
I agree.
Dude,
I agree.
that Punisher and
Yeah,
Daredevil series
I want
are probably
that.
some
Like,
of the
Secret Wars
best
is
Marvel properties
they
to
have
ever
to
come out.
reboot,
Like, I
and they
just
have them all in together,
unbelievable, man.
which is great.
Yeah, that's the thing that they've got to do
Yeah,
the reboot, especially because is his name Jonathan Majors, the
yeah.
guy who played
It's just
Kang? Yeah, like they can't run that
yeah,
storyline
but you're
anymore,
supposed to do
obviously.
like later
So
on,
it's
but it's
like,
fine.
what are we gonna
It's
do
fine.
now? Because he was
But
gonna
yeah,
be the
you
big
ever seen
bad.
Magazine Dreams? Magazine Dreams.
Yep.
It's Jonathan Major's bodybuilding
Yeah.
movie.
Say that again?
Yeah, yeah.
What is
It's
that?
it's a it came
Oh,
out. It came out on a low.
hmm.
It came out on a low. Basically, nobody.
Did
It
it
is.
come out, or is it something
It
that was
was
getting
too
built?
damn good. I, as bodybuilding, as a person who's
Jeez.
into bodybuilding and
Was it
fitness,
good, or
you
was it
kind of
just
see
like,
it went in like, especially with men,
damn?
it went in with everything. It's like Iron Claw, Iron Claw times 10. I was like, oh no! I said no.
Oh, dude, Iron Claw was so good, man.
Yeah,
Dude,
and then he was like, I choked. I
you
said,
hate when like bad
no,
people
not
make
he.
great
Oh,
great
he's probably
content,
one
you
of the
know?
best actors I've ever seen. I don't care, but I care, but I sucks. Yeah, and it
He's
sucks.
really good, yeah.
But damn it, man,
No, I get you. It's like
bro, he did
you
the
can separate
double
the art from the
bicep curls
artist,
and
where it's like,
oh,
God,
I
it's terrible that he
cried,
did
bro.
this, and then you
I
go,
cried, bro.
damn, that shit's really good though.
I saw my friend do a bodybuilding show, and I said, "Holy shit, I want
How'd
to
you
do
how'd
this."
you get
But I
into
also
like
watch
weightlifting
anime
and
and
stuff like
stuff
that?
too, and I won't say. Like, you like? I want to be a fucking Super
Dude,
Saiyan.
yeah,
I don't know
it's
how to do it.
see,
I
I'm
don't know how
telling
to
you,
do
bro,
it.
like that's
I don't have a freezer.
that's so funny to me. Yes, dude, bro. It is
Bro.
like the standard male experience is seeing Goku go Super Saiyan for the first time,
I want to
and
be
then going
that.
on the
Oh,
early
God.
internet and googling Super
Yeah.
Saiyan level 100, and then going, I want to be that, and like, yeah,
I can do that.
it's craziness,
I
man.
watched
Because like,
Ultimate
it didn't feel
Muscle.
discouraging.
What
It
kind
felt
of
like
crazy shit?
I could do that. I could totally do that,
Yeah,
even
that's
though you
what, bro.
can't.
That
But
was crazy. I said, I'm going to the gym right now after the show.
did you ever see Pain and
Get
Gain?
that.
Oh. Ooh. Yeah, I remember my buddy hits me up, and I was because I've been a personal trainer for over a decade, and he hits me up and he goes, "Hey man, new movie's coming out, The Rock, Mark Wahlberg, bodybuilding," and I said, "What the fuck?" Yeah, and like just it was so fun, man. Like I still love that movie so much. It was such a classic.
Movie fitness might be on fire right now. I'm not gonna lie, because Iron Claw, Pain and Gain out there. Magazine Dreams is up there because it deals with the dark, like it's uncomfortable to watch. So I'm not gonna hold you. Like there's a part where he's on a date. He's like, and the girl's like rubbing his face. He's like, I want my biceps to be like this. I want this like this. Like I set of macros, bro. I kid you not. My face, and yeah, and he's like, he wants to be better, and he has to be better, and he has
just like the crazy way that it becomes like your sole focus.
Crazy. But it's so it's real. It's real. I can't believe. I was like, this is what I sound like sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, and this is very.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking it up now. This is
like Iron
oh my
Claw
god,
and
this literally
men's,
just came out, didn't it?
Men's mental illness and what we go through as like it's the first. It's kind of it's one of a kind that ever shows it off like that. It's just crazy. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to check this. This literally came out 2 weeks ago, and I didn't hear a single thing about it. That is nuts.
Fitness and stuff like that, and it's like it goes ham, man.
Man,
but yeah, fit. Oh, you. I'm 5'11".
What
I
are your
squat. The
stats?
most I've ever
Like
squat was like
height, weight, squat, bench, dead.
350. That's the most I ever squatted. Most I ever bench was like
Okay.
315. I don't really like do that, but like I never. Yeah, but yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That's I want to. I mean, I just like the
Okay.
gym.
Yeah, it's powerlifting's not for everybody. Like some people. Yeah, no, dude, I totally get it. It's if it weren't for the fact of like me being in a very like bodybuilding and powerlifting focused gym for so many years, like if you look up Stimulus Gym Reno, Nevada, that is my fucking home gym. I love that gym. Me moving to Denver has made me miss that place every single day. I love that gym. Like I built such a good physique there.
Holy
But
shit!
I like my
I'm
my
like
all
two.
time when
I'm too
I only
strong.
weighed
I'm
180. So I'm 6'3",
287
and
now.
when I was
I'm trying.
180
I'm
pounds,
trying to. I'm trying to.
yeah, I'm tall,
I'm
man.
trying to. I'm trying to. Like I love. Like I wanted to get to 300.
But yeah,
My
dude,
trainer was like,
you can tell you're
"Brother,
stacked. Like you
relax."
can
And
see
I
it.
got to 298, and my body is like, yeah.
Yeah,
I love like I love like the power in them, but
it's
I'm
like
like,
quit that shit. Yeah, yes, mass moves mass, man. Yeah, like hitting 200 pounds. Well,
that's
so the
what I'm saying.
heaviest I
Yeah.
ever was 217. And I felt like shit. Like my body does not like being that heavy.
Okay.
I feel the best between 190 and 200. Like right now I'm 190 ish, but it's really funny because my all time PRs I hit at 180. So 6'3", 180, and my max bench was 315. My max deadlift was 350, and my max
Yeah.
deadlift, excuse me, my
Shit.
max bench was 315, max squat was 350, and max deadlift was 445. So it's like I'm a really, really good bencher for some reason. I'm not a great squatter, mostly because I have really, really long legs, but I've got a pretty short and condensed torso. So I'm a really good bencher for whatever reason. And I fucking, I don't know, man. It always
Yeah.
makes me laugh because
It's
you hear these
just
stories about guys where it's like, oh, skips leg day, skips leg day. I'm like, no, dude, I squat 3 times a week. I was squatting 3 times a week for 8 years. My legs just don't grow the way my upper body does. And I was training
yeah.
really hard, training like a powerlifter, trained to failure.
Hey man,
And
the
my
fitness
legs just
is
don't grow as
amazing,
quick as
man.
my torso does for whatever reason.
I don't know what I do.
What are you gonna
I
do?
just don't want how people don't do it. But it is like hard. It is hard,
dude.
but like it's not. Oh, that's a good one. I used to like Bradley. I like Bradley Martin a lot.
Who are some of your
But I
favorite
also
fitness influencers?
I liked Frank Colombo.
Bradley Martin's fun, man.
What's the guy? What the fuck? Chuck Platts,
Frank
Tom
Colombo's
Platts.
dope.
Yo, with his leg stuff. Yo, I used to love. Oh my god.
Oh, Tom Platts. Oh, legs, bro. Oof. It's really funny when you can tell a certain person enjoys the pain of a certain muscle group burning. Like I love the way that it burns with my back and my chest. With my legs and my biceps,
bro,
it is debilitating. Like it's really funny because there's all these guys that are like, I love hitting curls, I love feeling my arms burn. I'm like,
legs are just.
like
I've done.
I have puked from hitting biceps before.
I've done. I've learned
I
both.
fucking love sissy squats, dude.
Yeah, so I kind of like.
Do you do them with the machine or do you do the free weighted version?
I look at people like, yo, I want your legs. I want your legs.
Yeah, me too.
I'll talk to people. So whatever they have. But I think, the thing about fitness is always humbles you. It's like the next level. I'm like,
yeah. One of the funny things is whenever you don't really know how strong somebody is and you're training with them, and then you either get like really surprised or you're like, okay, that's about what I was expecting. Like I remember when I went back home around Christmas, I was training with one of my buddies, and we were just hitting chest day, and I keep throwing the weight on, and he goes, "You're a lot stronger than I thought."
I always train people stronger than me, so it's always crazy.
Thank you.
So I'm like always like,
yeah, exactly. I think that's the right way to do it. Do you follow three guys that I really like as far as like fitness influencers? TNF on Instagram. he's killer. Higher Up Wellness, Michael Smoke, he's really, really cool. And then I don't know if he would technically be considered a fitness influencer because
who's that?
He's mostly just like a funny creator, but he posts a lot of gym content too. Is Mr. Big Chops. Yeah, they're really solid. Big Chops actually lost like 100 pounds. I want to say like a week ago. I think he finally hit the 100 pounds mark.
That's crazy. That's cool.
And yeah, bro, his legs are like the size of my, like wider than my shoulders.
Okay.
It's insane. But yeah, they're all really, really solid creators. And then like Lane Norton's killer. I will forever be a fan of Lane. Dr. Mike gets a lot of hate these days, but Dr. Mike is cool. He's good, man. Like he showed me when he started talking about long length partials. He was the first person that I ever heard really talk about that and explain scientifically why it works. So I really enjoyed him bringing that into my consciousness because I don't grow my hamstrings very effectively. And I remember the first time I applied those in a workout and I was just like, oh my God, my hamstrings are fucking screaming at me. Yeah. Man, like I said, I'm 6'3". I graduated high school at 140 pounds. So I was really, really freaking skinny. And oh man, I'm gonna give you the real answer because this is kind of funny. I hit one semester of weights in high school, and then I took like a big gap after that. But I hit one semester, and I remember my girlfriend at the time. Her and I were, doing what kids do, and I remember her touching my arms, and she goes, "Your arms are so big." They were not, for the record. They were fucking just little spaghetti. But I remember her saying, "Oh my God, your arms," and that just lit every synapse up in my brain, and I was like, "I'm gonna chase this feeling for the rest of my life." Is women complimenting my physique, and like it just, I don't know. It's so funny because like I'm still really good friends with her. Her and I broke up like 12 years ago or something like that. And I'm like, she has no idea what that imprinted on my brain. Like she just threw me down a fucking rabbit hole that I will never escape from.
For just coming on the show. Like I love your everything you do. Keep doing it, awesome, man. Bro, it was the first. It was
dude, thank you.
The polyamorous video. That's what that one.
Wait, how did you find me?
I was like, I'm intrigued. And then I watched all your videos. I was like, okay, I have a problem. I'm a fan. I have a problem.
All right, I can dig it.
I was like,
wait.
I was
how
like,
did you find my email? Actually, don't say that on screen. But
yeah.
It was on YouTube, right? Yeah, okay, dude, that's so funny. I need to put my public email out or make a public email or something like that because I get a lot of random DMs from people who are like, hey, and I'm like, I probably got a lot of people slipping through the cracks.
Yeah,
but fuck yeah, dude,
also,
this was awesome. This was super fun.
Like we got going on.
Tag me and shoot me a message on Instagram too, so I can follow you back and share this and everything.
Anything? Which one say to people? Tell me what people want to
know. Just in general or like content that I'm working on. In general, I've been working. I've been saving up a lot. It's okay. So this is one of the things. Whenever people are like, "You're so rich, you're this, you're that." No, I punish myself into being able to afford things. If I want to buy something, I have to be able to save up that much money, like double that much money. So if I want to buy something that's $150, I got to save up $300. And I have been saving up money for pretty much the entire last year, probably somewhere between 6 to 9 months, just putting away, $50, $30, $100, $20 every time I could. And I finally bought a little camper that I've been saving up because I want to take my puppies out a bunch this summer and, do a bunch of fun nature shit because I love them and I love nature. So I just bought that and I got to install a bunch of stuff on my vehicle to make it really, really sturdy for the road and for hitting all these back trails and everything. But really excited for that. Mm-hmm. It looks like we're getting quite a bit of snow for the end of the spring snowboarding season. So I'm gonna go crush that. I'm working on a really fucking cool podcast episode that I have been working on for, I've probably been working on this for like 6 to 9 months about artificial sweeteners, artificial flavors, food dyes, but just all of these different things. This is probably going to be like a 3 or 4 part series on my podcast. So at Holistic Motion, if anybody wants to check that out. But yeah, that episode has been, I mean, I've been cooking that up for so long, and I don't even know if I'm finalized with it, but I think I have probably 80% of the guts there. Now I just need to script it all properly so that it all makes sense as a cohesive piece. And then the final thing, I was actually working on this before we started this podcast. I've been working on a course for about 4 or 5 months about how to detect bullshit in the fitness industry. So, do you watch South Park? There's this episode called Truth in Advertising where Jimmy finds out that he's able to distinguish things from news, if it's news or if it's an ad. And I remember being early in the fitness industry and just buying every supplement, every program, every this, every that, and then going, oh my God, this isn't a good program. This is just their sponsor. And so I've gotten really, really good at being able to tell, is this their sponsor? Which there's nothing wrong with that if somebody wants to pump their sponsor, but are they only talking about this because it's their sponsor? Or is this actually good information? Is this a good product? Is this a good program? So I'm writing a course on how to actually break that stuff down. And I think it will definitely be finished before this month ends. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to do that because I've spent so much money and time and just awesome. on trash. And I think I've really figured out how to not do that.
What are you listening to?
Yeah.
Okay.
What am I watching right now? Right now, I'm watching The Expanse on, so if memory serves, The Expanse is the reason that Amazon bought the Sci-Fi Channel, is because Jeff Bezos loved that show so much that when it got paused, he was like, whoa, 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 and like bought the rights to it. And it's a complete series, so you can actually watch it all the way to the end. You're not going to be like left with a cliffhanger. It is some of the best sci-fi, I think, that exists. Mm-hmm. And what am I reading right now? Right now, I've always got some kind of Star Wars book that I'm reading. And then I'm also reading, this is a book called The Blackmail Diet. I've actually read it before, but it's, I'm kind of working on making something around this that I've wanted to make for a while, because it's the hardest thing about achieving a goal is not setting it. The hardest thing about a goal is that there's no real drawback to not moving forward. So people will, set a goal. Oh, I want to lose 50 pounds, or, oh, I want to make this much money, or, oh, I want to design this course, or, oh, I want to change my sleeping habits. And okay, you've set this goal. What happens if you don't do it? Nothing. Years down the line, you will feel the effects of that, but you're not going to feel any drawback from it in the short term, So people will set these goals, and then there's no reason to not follow through. So what you can do, and I've been actually trialing this with a small group, is you can blackmail yourself into achieving it. So I'm in this group on my Instagram, and if somebody's interested in this, you can DM me, and I'll add you to the group on the next cycle. We're actually about to start a second one with a new group, where basically you choose your goal, you pick your punishment. So in my case, I'm a pretty apolitical person. People say that I'm conservative, people say that I'm liberal. I'm apolitical, and I don't like either party. So my punishment, because you get it. My punishment, I'm not good at waking up on time. So my thing is, I have to wake up, or I have to be on the street walking my dogs before. I don't want to dox my schedule, but before a certain time, and I have to send proof to this group. And if I don't, I have to send $200 to the DNC, $200 to the RNC, and if I fail it again, that number goes up. So every time that I don't achieve this goal, I am financially negatively impacted. There are other people where it's, oh, I want to finish this song that I've been working on, or, oh, I want to adopt this kind of exercise and movement practice. And everybody has a way that they're financially impacting themselves if they don't achieve that goal. And last month, we had a 90% success rate. 10% of people did not achieve their goal. It is one of the craziest fucking things that I've ever done. It is, it's unreal how effective it is, because suddenly people aren't just setting goals. They're going, here's my goal, and here's how I'm going to fucking screw myself if I don't achieve it.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a course eventually that I release, or a product or something like that. So I guess be on the lookout for that, guys. Yeah. depending which, it's really hard to get the same name across all social media, but Real Andrew Briggs, like REAL, actually, yeah. It's at Real Andrew Briggs on TikTok. It's at Actual Andrew Briggs on Instagram. And then if you Google holistic motion anywhere, it'll be like holistic motion or holistic_motion, holistic motion co. You can't get the same fucking one. But if you Google holistic motion, I'm the biggest one that comes up. And you know, if you really want to support me, I would say holistic motion is the thing that I care the most about, even though it's not my most successful media. It's the thing that I really, really love and I really care about it. And then, yeah, just like memes and reels and shit posting are my TikTok and my Instagram. But yeah, that's probably the best way to find me. And then, you know, I'll fucking talk to anybody, man. I get a lot of DMs. I respond to pretty much every DM, which, I mean, famous last words, I get a lot of them. So if I don't respond to you, I'm sorry. It's really, really been ramping up. Like there's some days where I'm getting like hundreds of DMs and I'm just some fucking guy, so it's really crazy for me.
Of course you gotta come back.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, man. I'm more than happy to. This is really, really fun to talk to you, man.
Thank you.
You make these very, very natural conversations. You're really fucking fun to talk to. So I appreciate you having me on a ton.
YouTube, TikTok, at your mom's house is where I'll be.
Absolutely.
Oh, wait. Tell your mom and dad you love them, brother, sister, whoever. Also, Andrew, any advice for people? Like, you're like, somebody owe you money or something, anything like that. What do you want to say? You want to say anything. I mean, just advice for the day.
If someone owes you money, how to get it back? Just general advice for the day. I actually agree with your thing. Tell your mom and dad you love them. Spend more time with your family. I had a 6-month period of time where I went no contact with my mom, and it is one of my biggest regrets because I lost 6 months of time with my mom, who, I don't know if you guys know this or not, your family members and the people that you love will die. So every time that all the time that you're taking away from them is time that you will never get back. My mom is one of my best friends in the world. I am so regretful that I missed that 6-month period because I talk to my mom pretty much every fucking day. So talk to your family, talk to your friends. If you have long distance friends and you ever get a chance to hang out with them, absolutely do it, because mathematically, if they are long distance, you are probably only going to see that person maybe a dozen times for the rest of your life. So anytime that you don't pull the trigger and don't actually make the effort to go see them is one last time you'll ever see them before you guys stop existing. Thank you, man. This was fucking awesome.